Hello everybody, my name is Margareta Hedin and I'm an astrologer from Stockholm, and I am sitting here with one of my best friends, Anders Asker, who also happened to be an astrologer from Stockholm, and he is also very known as a yoga teacher and a musician. And we and a bunch of other astrologers, we are now a part of the board of the Swedish Astrological Association. And we are now going to do a fantastic astrological conference that will be held in the heart of Stockholm, in Old Town, and that will be the last day of February and the 1st of March. And to this conference, we have invited fantastic astrologers from all over the world. And one of them is Anders Asker.
Thank you, Margareta. Thank you so much.
So, I think you have to tell our audience here today, who are you behind all these titles I just said?
Yeah. I am a searcher for truth, and I am also a believer in a higher meaning of life. And I'm fortunate to work with my passions, which is astrology, yoga, and music. I am a singer-songwriter. Music was my first love, and you can actually find my music on these platforms, YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that if you are really lucky, we will listen to Anders when he sings for us in the conference in the Saturday. I hope so. Okay, but can you tell us how your journey into astrology, how did it start? What triggered you?
That was around my lunar nodal return. That happens when you're 18.
Yeah, the first one.
I was away, I was in the States, I came back to Sweden. I was a little bit shaken by everything that had happened, and I made new friends, female friends that laid horoscopes, and that was super interesting. That hooked me. So that was my door into it. Later, I made friends in the early 90s. I made friends with the renowned Swedish astrologer Thomas Jönsson.
Yeah. That
sparked my interest. And then, of course, I have had, I've been influenced by many astrologers along the line. Barbara Handclough was very inspiring with all her stuff. Yes, there are many to name, actually.
Is there any special moment that you felt that astrology, it's my life? Or did it come to you more?
Yeah, there is a time when you get obsessed with a subject if you want to master it.
Yeah.
And that was, I think that was in the mid-90s, but then there have been aha moments, like when I was dabbling with astrocartography and solar maps.
But when you are mentioning the mid-90s,
yeah.
Can that have to do with the fact that you got a computer home? Because I'm thinking that to have your own program and astrological software and the possibility that it gave us,
yeah.
Didn't that change everything?
It did change everything. We were able to draw charts in a second, right?
Yes.
And to print them out. But I still want to mention that when I was dabbling with solar maps and I was looking at Ohio, in Ohio I was an exchange student and I was, at the end of the year, I was expelled from school or sent home for different reasons that I don't have to mention. But when I was looking at the astrocartography, I saw that Uranus was running right through, on the IC, running right through Ohio. So that was the rebel force and the shock that entailed was very much manifested. Later, I also looked at my horoscope, my solar map, and I discovered when I was looking at where my Juno, Juno is the consort, the wife of Jupiter, and she's very good when you look at partnerships and partners. So when I see her in my astro map, that she's on the ascendant running right through Budapest, and lo and behold, my wife-to-be is born in Budapest. So it's
interesting.
Yeah.
But how would you describe your style of astrology? What method are you using?
I grew up with a kind of classical approach. Rob Hand was one of the first influencers, and he's pretty classical, right? So when I look at a chart, I will find that the strengths and the weaknesses of the planet, the chart ruler, the final dispositor, where are the karmic points. I mean, I do all that classical analytical work. I have myself Virgo rising with Mars, Pluto, and Uranus in the 12th house, so I'm detail oriented. So I use those techniques, but I also I'm so thrilled to bring in the asteroids, the centaurs, the dwarf planets. Now, I mean, the perspective is widening because of our ability to go further out into space, into the Kuiper belt, into the Oort cloud, and I mean, we're discovering so much from those new.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I know that so many people are interested in this, and I think that the audience will love your speech, and maybe it will be one of the highlights of the entire conference. I'm so curious to listen how it will unfold there in the conference.
Thank you.
Next question was what you are most curious in astrology, but I guess you just answered that.
Yeah, but I can still say that the new planets definitely have sparked my interest, and I have gotten a lot of insight through astrologers like Koji Vihara, Pam Gregory, Heather Ensworth, Alan Clay. They have Kelly. What's her name? They have brought in. There's so much research going on these new topics, and then so that's what I'm really delving into. But on the other hand, I have also been introduced into the gene keys and the work of Richard Rudd and human design system. And when I was reading Mountain Astrology in the 90s and in the 2000s, I always got commercial for human design system, and I always brushed it aside because I thought I had my astrology. But now I have to admit that it is very interesting to see those...
How it's connected.
And how it puts a totally deeper layer on the zodiac and those specific 5 degrees where each gene key is, 64 gene keys.
Yeah. It's powerful, I've seen that too. But now, Anders, I want to ask you a deep question. How do you see that spirituality and astrology is working together? Or are they? Or is it?
Yes, I mean, they are inseparable. Astrology is a spiritual science, a sacred science. I learned that early, and we are in a phase where we are entering into the age of Aquarius. We are in the age of Aquarius since 2012, in my opinion, and that sign is about oneness.
Yes.
It's about collective connectedness, about equality, about brotherhood and freedom, right? Not to forget. that we are free, and astrology is really a tool in that to liberate yourself to your persistent or to your specific dharma, to work with your life consciously.
I'm thinking, Anders, what is the biggest misconception people have about astrology?
Yes, that's the pole, the polarity, determinism, that you have a certain fate and there is no escape out of that fate. Because of course astrology lights up your path and the most probable track that you're taking. But we must not forget that we live in the universe of free will. Mm-hmm. This is the universe of free will, freedom of choice. Mm-hmm. So you're making choices every day, every night.
Yeah.
You're making choices, and the more conscious that you can choose to create a healthy, a vibrant, a happy life, mm-hmm. the more you can pull on your astrology, on your talents, on your strengths, right?
Yeah.
To master the challenges.
Yeah, but I really want to know what ignites you, what turns you on, what is it that about astrology that you love so much? Tell me.
Well, it is. It's such a wonderful language. The language of the stars, the planets, the myths,
yeah.
the stories. Right now, when we are in this transit into the Aquarian age, if people understand the symbolism of what you see when you look into the stars, and you see the water bearer pouring that pitcher of water, pouring it, that water is the water of spirit. It's the water, it's the sweet water, sweetened water, done through alchemical processes. He has sweetened, or she has sweetened the water, and he pours it into the mouth of the southern fish. What is the southern fish? Well, that is Pisces, that is Christ consciousness. So that's, you actually are viewing or seeing that process of mankind becoming much more illuminated by that water, that spirit that the Aquarius is pouring into.
Right now, I feel that every journalist I meet, and also many other people, they are asking me if I see an increased interest about astrology, and yes, of course we do that. But what do you, Anders, think astrology can do for the world right now?
To raise the awareness, to raise the consciousness, to understand your mission in life, mm-hmm. to understand that you are not a victim of circumstance, as we have been led to believe by our school systems, mm-hmm. or societies at large really teach that you are an insignificant hub in the wheel or whatever. But you can use the astrology to get a deeper understanding of who you are individually as well as globally, and that will open up so many venues for us to heal with the centaurs,
yes,
to heal the planet.
But don't you think we have a great job now to do, to bring peace to the world, to make,
yes.
give
yes.
a greater understanding?
Yes.
I think at these dark times, the astrology is needed at the most.
Definitely so. And that's why it's also coming back very strongly.
Yeah, I think so too. But I have a last question for you, Anders. If I comes to you as a client, what do you give your clients? What do you think it's important that they have with them when they leave you?
I want to instill that self-belief, self-respect, self-love through the chart. So the chart is only a tool, a compass with which you can better navigate through these times, because I agree, these times are very challenging or demanding with all the changes, with all the speed up of time that we have experienced ever since 2012 or 2020, or how you want to look at it. We need tools with which to grow and to expand, and then you leave the room with a feeling of peace, yes, a feeling of hope, of trust, of patience, that everything will unfold according to a higher plan, if you want.
Yeah, okay. I think that's all today. So, what I would like to do before to say goodbye, it's to invite everybody to come out in our homepage, astroconference.se, and find out more about our conference. We will be 10 speakers. It will be a great audience. You will enjoy, for sure, a vibrant community. And I will also tell you that we have Maurice Fernandez, world famous astrologer. He will be our keynote speaker of the conference, but he will also give a very, very interesting workshop 2 days after the conference. So don't miss out that. I hope to see you in the conference. Thank you.
Namaste.